Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be going over how to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Our first example is going to be 5 over 7 minus 2 over 3. As we can see, the denominators are not the same. So we need to think about what is the greatest common factor between 7 and 3. The greatest common factor between 7 and 3 is 21. Next, we need to think about how we got from 7 to 21. We multiplied 7 by 3, and what we do to the bottom, we also have to do to the top. 5 over 7 is going to become 15 over 21. And next, we need to do the same thing with the second fraction. How did we get from 3 to 21? We multiplied by 7. And what we do to the bottom, we also need to do to the top. 2 over 3 becomes 14 over 21. And when we're subtracting fractions with the same denominator, the denominator stays the same. And we subtract the numerators. 15 minus 4 is going to be 1. Next, we have 2 over 3 minus 3 over 8. We need to find the least common denominator between these two fractions, and that's going to be the greatest common factor between 3 and 8. And that's going to be 24. How did we get from 3 to 24? We multiplied by 8, and what we do to the bottom, we also need to do to the top. 2 over 3 becomes 16 over 24. And we're going to do the same thing with the second fraction. How do we get from 8 to 24? This is times 3. What we do to the bottom, we also do to the top. 3 over 8 becomes 9 over 24. When we have two fractions with the same denominator, the denominator stays the same, and we subtract the numerators. 16 minus 9 is going to be 7. And we have that 2 over 3 minus 3 over 8 is going to equal 7 over 27. Next, we have 4 over 5 minus 2 over 3. The greatest common factor between 5 and 3 is going to be 15. We need to think about how we got from 5 to 15. This was times 3. And what we do to the bottom, we also need to do to the top. 4 over 5 becomes 12 over 15. And we're going to do the same thing with the second fraction. 3 times 5 is 15. And we need to multiply it by 5 on top and on the bottom. 2 times 5 is 10 over 15. And when we're subtracting two fractions, we subtract the numerators, and the denominator stays the same. And we get that 4 over 5 minus 2 over 3 equals 2 over 15. Next, we have 6 over 10 minus 4 over 8. The least common denominator, or greatest common factor, between 10 and 8 is going to be 40. To get from 10 to 40, we multiply by 4. And what we do to the bottom, we also need to do to the top. 6 over 10 becomes 24 over 40. To get from 8 to 40, we multiply by 5. We're going to do the same on the top. 4 times 5 is 20. And from here, we're going to subtract the numerators. 24 minus 20 is 4 over the denominator stays the same. We can simplify this fraction by dividing the top and the bottom by 4. On top, 4 divided by 4 is 1. And on the bottom, 40 divided by 4 is 10. And we get that 6 over 10 minus 4 over 8 equals 1 over 10. The last example for today will be 8 over 12 minus 1 over 5. The greatest common factor between 12 and 5 is going to be 60. To get from 12 to 60, we multiply by 5. And so we're going to multiply 8 by 5 as well. And we're going to get 40 over 60. For the second fraction, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by 12. 1 times 12 is 12. Since the denominators are the same, it's also going to stay the same in the result. And we're going to subtract the numerators. 40 minus 12 is 28. We can divide both these terms by 4. And we're going to get 7 over 15. If you learned something new in this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more math content like this. I'll see you in the next one.